Everyone thinks Jonestown was solely about faith. They're catastrophically wrong. The tragic events of November 18, 1978, at Jonestown, Guyana, are etched into history as a horrific act of mass murder-suicide. Over 900 people perished, their lives extinguished in a remote jungle commune. Yet, beneath this unspeakable tragedy lies a story of immense financial manipulation, a forgotten aspect of Jim Jones's chilling control. Jones didn't just command devotion. He meticulously crafted an economic engine, a financial cult designed to consolidate wealth and power. From its early days in Indiana, through its expansion into California, and finally to the dense Guyanese jungle, the People's Temple was a sophisticated, self-sustaining financial enterprise. His initial strategy was deceptively simple: attract vulnerable individuals, often those seeking community or salvation, and then systematically extract their assets. Members were pressured, sometimes outright forced, to sign over their homes, their paychecks, their life savings to the temple. This wasn't just voluntary tithing. By the mid-1970s, many members, particularly the elderly, surrendered their Social Security and disability checks directly to the temple. Jones promised eternal care, a utopian life, in exchange for every material possession. The temple's financial operations grew increasingly complex. They owned a fleet of buses, properties across California, and even operated several businesses. These enterprises, staffed by unpaid temple members, generated revenue that flowed directly into Jones's coffers, unchecked by external oversight. As scrutiny intensified in the United States, particularly from former members and concerned relatives, Jones began planning the move to Guyana. This wasn't merely a search for a promised land. It was a strategic withdrawal designed to evade legal and financial accountability. The relocation to Jonestown required immense capital. Land was purchased, buildings constructed, and supplies imported. This massive undertaking was funded by the accumulated wealth from decades of member contributions and the sale of many of the temple's U.S. assets. Once established in Guyana, the financial control tightened further. Members had no access to their money, no personal property, and no means of independent income. Every aspect of their lives, from food to clothing, was provided by the temple, ensuring absolute economic dependency. Jones himself lived a life of relative luxury amidst the commune's Spartan conditions. He had personal bodyguards, special meals, and a secure compound. The disparity in living standards was a stark illustration of where the temple's vast wealth truly resided. But what exactly was the full extent of this fortune? Estimates vary wildly, partly due to the temple's deliberately opaque financial records. Some reports suggested millions of dollars in bank accounts, property, and gold. Just days before the final act, Jones became increasingly paranoid about losing control of these funds. There were frantic attempts to transfer money, liquidate assets, and ensure that the wealth remained out of the reach of any legal challenges or defecting members. This desperation culminated in desperate measures. Reports surfaced of large sums of cash, potentially millions, being transferred to bank accounts in various countries, notably Switzerland and Panama, often under aliases or through shell corporations. The precise fate of much of this missing money remains a subject of speculation and ongoing debate. While some funds were recovered by the U.S. government to compensate victims' families, a significant portion simply vanished. Some theories suggest the money was indeed spirited away to untraceable offshore accounts. Others posit that it was squandered by Jones or his inner circle in the final, chaotic days, perhaps buried or simply destroyed to prevent it from falling into enemy hands. The financial legacy of Jonestown is a stark reminder that cults are not solely about ideological control. They are often sophisticated, predatory organizations built on the systematic exploitation of their followers, financially and otherwise. The wealth amassed by Jim Jones represented the life savings, the inheritances, and the entire economic futures of hundreds of individuals. Their trust was betrayed, not just spiritually, but materially, leaving behind a profound economic void. Understanding this financial dimension adds another layer of horror to the Jonestown tragedy. It exposes the calculated, cold-hearted ambition behind the charismatic facade, revealing a leader who saw his followers not just as disciples, but as revenue streams. The missing millions serve as a silent testament to the devastating power of unchecked control and the often hidden financial mechanisms that underpin even the most horrific of human tragedies. The story of Jonestown isn't just a cautionary tale about faith, but about the insidious nature of financial fraud on a catastrophic scale. It's a testament to how ambition, twisted by megalomania, can devour fortunes and lives alike. Next, we unravel the intricate web of deceit behind the Enron scandal's rise and spectacular fall.